Hey you guys, guess what time it is? Of course, it is time for my empties. I can't believe how fast I accumulate empties. I do believe this time around is going to be pretty heavy on skincare. I've been testing out a lot of skincare lately. I went through a few different skincare products at work, so that is going to be the bulk of my empties today. I will do my best to kind of organize it. I got smart this time and I put this little trash bag in here because it is usually very stressful. Okay, up first, we'll try and talk about some of the hair stuff. Okay, up first, of course, every time around, I go through a lot of Batiste dry shampoo. This is my favorite dry shampoo. It's tried and true. It's very inexpensive. I usually end up getting it at my grocery store, or I find the big ones a lot at TJ Maxx, and they're a lot cheaper there. I tried a new scent this time, and I am not the biggest fan. I don't know what it is about this tropical scent. It is just not my favorite. I prefer the Bear or the cherry. The cherry one is really, really good. But yes, I went through several of those. Went through a couple of hairsprays by Kevin Murphy. This one is definitely my favorite. This is the Touchable Spray Wax. I still have a little bit left in this one. I think this one is just too heavy for my hair. I love the formula, but this is definitely one where, like, I would have used this a lot back in my dance days when you needed to absolutely be glued back. I definitely would have used this a lot, but for day to day, I wash my hair too much. I just think this is just a little bit too much for my hair on like a regular basis. This one, however, is not. This one's my favorite. It's the Do Over Dry Powder Finishing Hairspray. This is like a hairspray and a dry shampoo in one. I run really, really oily, as you saw with all the dry shampoos that I went through. I run very oily, so having like a dry powder hairspray is a lifesaver for me. It adds the perfect amount of texture and bounce without being too incredibly waxy like the Touchable one. So this is definitely my favorite. I also love the bedroom hair, but this one's definitely my most reached for. This, however, might be the one hair product that I will use until the day I die. This is the Unite 7 Seconds Detangler Leave-In Conditioner. This stuff makes my hair so stupid soft, it's insane. This is what I use directly after I wash it. I wash my hair, I get out of the shower, I towel dry it just a little bit. I spray this in. Sometimes then I let it air dry, or sometimes I go through with my Revlon dryer brush thing, round brush blow dryer in one type thing. And that's actually what I did today, and that is my favorite way to use it. This also has a little bit of like a heat protectant element in it, which is really, really nice. I have very fine, thin hair, meaning it gets tangled very easily. So this is my go-to. I would have killed for this when I was a kid, swimming all the time. My mom probably would have killed for this as well, trying to get all of those tangles out of my hair. If you have little ones who have really fine, tangly hair, this stuff is so good. Little shampoo and conditioner business. This is the Kristen S Signature Shampoo Lightly Clarifying High Lathering. I really like this stuff. I have no complaints. It doesn't have like an overpowering smell or anything like that. I did actually repurchase this in like the big honkin' size, which I'm actually almost out of also, and I am planning on repurchasing it. It's a great price at the drugstore, and I really, really enjoyed it. It does lather up really nicely, but it doesn't make my hair feel stripped of all of its oils, so I do highly recommend this one. It says it's color safe. I don't color my hair, but it does say that it's color safe, cruelty free, vegan. This is a great general run-of-the-mill everyday shampoo. This conditioner that I went through, I love it. It's the Kevin Murphy Angel Rinse for fine hair. That is one thing about Kevin Murphy, is that it always smells so stinking good. One thing I don't love is this packaging. I think I prefer getting the bigger sizes. First of all, it's more bang for your buck. Second of all, it's kind of hard to get the very last bit out of these. I take the top off and literally like wring my finger around in there to get the very last drop out of these, but I love Kevin Murphy. I think I have yet to try a Kevin Murphy product that I wasn't impressed with, so this is no different. I really like their conditioners. So good. They smell so good. You only need like this much product because it is so incredibly concentrated. It smells so good. You don't need a lot. Kevin Murphy it's a good one. Okay, I think we're getting into the skincare. You guys tell, I think I found a new favorite cleanser. This is the Neutrogena Ultra Gentle Daily Cleanser. I like the foaming formula. There's a couple different formulas, and I I don't love super slippy hydrating cleansers. I do prefer when they kind of foam up. I have very acneic skin. So this has been one of my favorites. It's very, very inexpensive and it's very basic. It does not have a very long ingredient list. I can rub this all up in my eyes and it doesn't irritate my eyes. And this is more so what I use as like a second cleanse. I will go in with a micellar water to remove makeup and things like that. And then I will go in with this second to really, really get out all of those dirt and impurities and things like that out of my skin. But I don't feel stripped. This is a foaming formula, but it doesn't feel like it strips my skin of all of its natural oils. I am obviously really good about moisturizing and things like that, but it doesn't feel like tight after I use this. This is a really good cleanser and it's very inexpensive, basic, gentle, good stuff. A cleanser I didn't love. I tried this cleanser by Zoe Skin Health, Gentle Cleanser All Skin Types. This was not my favorite. This had like a weird blue color to it, which I feel like is unnecessary. I'm not sure. There's no ingredients on this. It's on the like box, the unit carton that it comes in, so I don't love that. I want to be able to read the ingredients. That's just me. So I don't know what gave it the blue tint. It could have just been for looks. And I could not get over how much this cleanser reminded me of the Neutrogena Grapefruit Cleanser, which I am not a fan of. There is just no reason for this to be that expensive when it really reminds me of a very irritating stripping cleanser from a drugstore brand. If you're looking for a Neutrogena cleanser, go for this one. Stay far away from that grapefruit one. There's absolutely no reason to be using a cleanser that smells like a grapefruit, especially if you have problematic skin. So it's not that this did a bad job or anything like that. It had a very overpowering smell and it's stupid expensive. There's just no reason to spend that much money on a cleanser. The CeraVe Renewing Salicylic Acid Cleanser for normal skin. I like this stuff a lot. I don't think I gravitate toward this for every day because it is a little bit more expensive. There is an active in it and I've been using a lot of creams and potions and serums and essences and things like that to get my actives. So I don't use a whole lot of actives in my cleansers these days. I do prefer these days using a very basic gentle cleanser. I'm not really sure why, but it's not that I wouldn't repurchase this. I do really love this. I've been gravitating more toward serums and leave-on products when it comes to active ingredients. Last cleanser, this is a micellar cleansing water. It is the cheapy Meyer brand. It says compared to Garnier Skin Active Micellar Water, and I do use that one a lot. I also use that in my treatment room. I use it to clean up the skin before I wax. I don't find a huge need to go in with isopropyl alcohol or anything like that on the face before I wax. I try to minimize irritation when it comes to waxing, so I use something gentle like this to get off makeup, dirt, impurities, things like that. If someone has really thick eyebrow makeup on, I will use like a foaming lash cleanser with a little bit of a spoolie to really, really get all that dirt and debris out of there before I wax their brows. But this is a great makeup remover. This will be my first cleanse, go in with my second cleanse. Sometimes I do this one twice if I'm wearing a full face of makeup. That's probably what I'll do today. You just really want to make sure that you get all of that crud off your face before you go in with all your expensive creams and moisturizers and things like that. Oh my gosh, I lied. Okay, one more cleanser. You go through cleanser a lot. So I got this Tatcha cleanser as part of my little birthday gift from Sephora this year. So it's been a while since I used this up. This is the Rice Wash Soft Cream Cleanser. For as much as I got to use it, it's very little. I really enjoyed it. I also dug back out the, I don't know if it's the water cream. It's the little purple moisturizer in the little itty bitty pop that came with this too. I also love that. It can be a little bit fragrant, which depends on the person. It's not my favorite thing just because I want to minimize the amount of irritating ingredients, possibly irritating ingredients in my skincare, but I haven't found it to be an issue so far. I really, really like this. Again, I don't know if it's worth this much money. If you're going for something from Tatcha or from a more expensive brand in general, I just don't think that their cleanser should be the first thing that you try. I think you should invest your money if you're planning on investing money in your skincare. I think cleanser is the last thing you purchase from an expensive brand. I think you want to go for products that you leave on your skin more often. So essences, SPFs, moisturizers, serums, things like that. I think that those are more worth spending your money on. Cleansing is a very, very, very important step, but you see here how much cleansers I went through. If I had repurchased the Tatcha cleanser every time that I needed a new cleanser, that's an insane amount of money, and I just don't have that kind of money. So I would recommend, if you want to try something from Tatcha or Peach and Lily or Zoe Skincare, just don't go for their cleanser first. That's my best advice, because that's going to stack up really, really fast. This stuff is so good. I need to go back to the store and purchase more. This is the Naturium Vitamin C Super Plus Serum. This stuff is so good. This is like a super serum. It has so many different actives in it that somehow formulated in this serum is not irritating. I would have thought, just with the list of ingredients, that this would be a really harsh serum, but it totally isn't. It remains very gentle, but it has vitamin C, retinol, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and salicylic acid. This is like a super serum. That's what it is. It's a great name. Vitamin C is great for brightening up any hyperpigmentation. Same with retinol. Retinol will also target fine lines, wrinkles, acne scarring, things like that. Hyaluronic acid is very plumping and hydrating and lovely. Niacinamide also will help target some of those dark spots, but it also is really great for shrinking your pore size. Not really shrinking your pore size. It helps lessen the appearance of your pores, because your pores don't change in size. That is a myth, but niacinamide is really, really great for making them appear smaller. And salicylic acid is also great for all things acne. Salicylic acid, or BHA, gets really, really deep down into the pores and it pushes things out. Things like bacteria and things that later form into acne. So you can't get better than this. The fact that you can get this at Target, it is more on the expensive side for drugstore for sure. Plus it's only 1 fluid ounce, and I've been through 2 of them. I think it's like 17 or 18 bucks. This stuff is so good. It has so many different actives that target so many different issues that you could be facing with your skin. Acne, fine lines and wrinkles, and hyperpigmentation. Those are probably the 3 main things that people don't love about their skin. Try this. It is so good. Another Naturium goodie that I found and loved. I've really been loving Naturium lately. This is the Marshmallow Root Barrier Balm. This stuff is so scrumptious and thick and lovely. This does have just a little bit of a scent to it. It's nothing crazy. And this is the most occlusive, plumping. I can't think of anything else other than this is a moisturizer that feels like it makes your skin plump. Marshmallow root is a great ingredient for calming. So if you have sensitive skin or anything like that, this would be a really, really good one to try. I didn't think I was gonna love that it's in a jar, but I actually don't mind that. Jars are not unsafe. I know that people think preservatives is a bad word, but skincare products need to have preservatives in order to keep them safe. Some are safer than others, yes, but some people whine about skincare products being in a jar because then it's exposed to air and light. That's what preservatives are for, and it being in a jar really helps so that you can get literally every single drop of your product so you can get your money's worth. Another moisturizer I went through, and I actually didn't go through this one on me. This one proved to be a little bit too fragranced for me. I did really enjoy the consistency. I used this on clients. Everybody seemed to love it. Woo, catch that whiff. This is a little too fragrance for me, but this is the Tarte Drink of H2O Hydrating Boost. This had like a gel consistency. Not like Jell-O, but like it started out as a gel, but it really kind of turned into almost a liquid on your skin as you start to rub it in. It does smell really good. I just didn't love it on my face, but again, it's in a jar, so it was really easy for me to get every last drop. I used it on clients, so of course I used a wax stick to get the product out so I wasn't like dipping my fingers in this. That is when a pot could be gross. You can't be dipping your fingers in this and then touching many different people's faces. Not a great idea. This was actually sent to me by Banish, and I am very, very grateful. They did send me a few different products. This was probably my least favorite. I tried it once and it really, really stung my skin. This is the Pumpkin Enzyme Mask, AHA Exfoliating Mask. So the first ingredient is pumpkin fruit. There's a lot of fruit extracts, orange peel, lemon peel. This is just not my favorite. I don't love this ingredient list. I think it can be pretty stripping, and it does kind of almost make sense as to why this would be targeted for people with acne scars that they're working to get rid of, because this feels very stripping. The ingredient list kind of backs that up. There's rosemary leaf extract, cinnamon. There are some good ingredients like vitamin E is great, but with all the fruit extracts with the pumpkin and the lemon and orange and things like that, it's just too much. It was way too much for my skin, and I wouldn't say that I have sensitive skin. It can feel a little sensitive because I do treat it with tretinoin. So this wasn't my favorite. I don't super recommend this particular product from Banish. And it also, my biggest thing at first was the fact that it smells exactly like baby food, because it is literally pumpkin puree. Not great. I didn't love this one. One thing that Banish sent me that I did enjoy a lot, this is the Banish Serum Dark Spot Corrector with vitamin C and E. I much prefer this ingredient list. This does smell pretty strongly of roses. I don't mind the smell of roses. It didn't seem to upset my skin, but if that's something that you don't like, definitely I don't recommend it. But it's glycerin, does have some witch hazel, ferulic acid, rose extract, jojoba seed oil, vitamin E. So this has a much shorter ingredient list. It is kind of like an oily serum. I went through this whole thing and I was thinking, I do love the smell of it, and something about the way that my makeup laid on top of this was really nice. I don't know if I noticed a crazy difference in terms of my scarring, but I do love vitamin E and I do love vitamin C and I do love rose. So this was a good one. I did enjoy this one a lot. I did seem to go through it pretty fast though. 15 mil. Is that a half an ounce? That's a half an ounce, isn't it? Yeah, so this is just a half an ounce. So it's a little bit pricey for the amount that you get, but I did really enjoy using it. I just don't know if I would repurchase it. At least not right now. Another thing from Zoe that reminded me of something much less expensive and much more stripping for your skin. This is the Zoe Skin Health Exfoliating Polish. This reminded me of, I can't remember if there was a scrub in the Proactive line, but I flashed back to using Proactive as like a 13-year-old when I used this scrub. It didn't upset my skin. The particles were very small and quite abrasive, but I did like it. Again, there is not an ingredient list on the actual packaging, so I can't analyze that for you, but did I like this? Yes. Would I purchase it? Absolutely not. This brand is way too expensive and it is way too fragranced and it is way too stripping, I guess. An esthetician that I follow online who I do trust, I know she's like, I don't know, like polarizing or something. I don't really know why. The Dallas esthetician, she does not love this brand and she says that she's seen it strip a lot of people's lipid barriers and you don't want that, especially when you're dealing with skin problems. So I don't love this brand. It's not my favorite and I'm not planning on purchasing anything else by them. God, this one took me forever to get through. Ew, what is going on there? I'm not even completely done with it, but this is the Face Theory Colloidal C Anti-Redness Toner. I loved this a lot, minus the weird chunky stuff. Not my favorite. I used this partly at home and I used it partly on clients and I do like it a lot. Toning is something that I don't do a whole lot of. I prefer having my actives in creams or serums, things like that. I don't like applying toners with my hands because it feels like nothing gets in my skin, but I don't like applying them with cotton because it feels like nothing gets in my skin. That is not my favorite, but I do use a lot of toner in my treatment room when I do facials. And I did like this one a lot. I don't know if I noticed it reducing redness, but it does say redness reducing toner with high beta glucan, oat kernel, vitamin C, licorice, and aloe vera. I do like all of those ingredients. I haven't done enough research on licorice. I don't know if I know that. I don't know if I like that. It does say unfragranced, but wouldn't licorice be a fragrance? I don't know. I feel very indifferent about this one. I'm not planning on repurchasing it, but I do like this brand. I like that they have the ingredient list on the actual thing, but I don't know, toners are just not something I gravitate toward a whole lot. Let's talk about sunscreen, baby. These are hands down some of my favorite. This is the Black Girl Sunscreen Make It Matte sunscreen gel for the face. I cut it open to get every last drop. My least favorite thing about it is that it's not super cheap. When it comes to, you know, price per ounce, it's not super cheap, but oh my God, I do think it's worth it. I have not tried the Trader Joe's one yet because I don't have a Trader Joe's near me. They're building one right next to my school, but they have not touched it since I started school. So I don't know when or if that Trader Joe's is ever opening. That one is way cheaper. If you have tried that sunscreen, please let me know what you think of that Trader Joe's sunscreen. I want to try it so bad. Anyway, that one is supposed to be a dupe for this one. This is the Black Girl Sunscreen Make It Matte. This is the weirdest texture I have ever felt on a sunscreen. It reminds me of the first time I ever tried a straight up silicone primer from Bare Minerals when I was like a kid. My mom used this Bare Minerals primer that had a clear jelly but matte kind of a feel, and it was the first time I had ever felt that texture in anything. That is what this feels like. Super helpful description, I know. But if you know, you know. This comes out of the bottle clear, completely clear. This literally looks like a silicone primer. It does not smell like sunscreen. It is the most bizarre, weird, lovely, incredible invention that I've ever seen in my life. Because it comes out clear, it literally cannot have white cast, which I don't really struggle with as a Casper. But it's called Black Girl Sunscreen. It was created by a black girl who was sick of trying to protect her skin and always having a white cast. So this brand is incredible. I am currently trying one of their other ones, but I know that this one's my favorite. And if you moisturize really well under it, I don't think it would be too matte or too drying. It's not like oil sucking. It just mattifies over the surface of your skin. It's not like, it doesn't draw out oil or hydration or anything like that. I don't know. This is like a weird anomaly that I love and I will repurchase. Another favorite, this is the Misha Essence Sun SPF 45 PA+++. I used to get this on YesStyle, I think, and I have found it recently on Amazon and I am trying it and it feels very similar. It feels the same. I was very skeptical at first, but I do believe that it is the real thing that you can get on Amazon. This stuff is so good. Again, there's no white cast. It doesn't smell overly like sunscreen, but it does come out white. But when you rub it in really good, I don't find a white cast. Again, find someone with a darker skin tone that has tested this out if you are not a Casper like me. But I also love this stuff because it is so stupid cheap. And you need sunscreen to be cheap most of the time because you can go through it really fast, just like cleanser. I went through a bottle of my tretinoin. This is also gross. These are like those like tin bottles. I hate these. There's a slit open right here in this one, so I don't know, it's probably like $20 that just spilled out. Anyway, this stuff is not super cheap. This stuff is prescription only. I have found a lovely service. I did not get this one through that service. I'm currently going through one that I got from Cosmetic RX. They reached out to me and they offered me a free trial essentially. So I got a bottle of prescription strength tretinoin for free from them. So thank you very much to Cosmetics RX. If you are watching this video, I can't go back because even with insurance, this bottle cost me, I think, about $100. And I've been using tretinoin for a very long time through different insurances and everything. So it used to be a lot less expensive. Our insurance changed. And the first time that I went to go get my tretinoin with my new insurance, she was like, you need to get on GoodRx because insurance doesn't cover much of this. So it was perfect timing for Cosmetic RX to reach out to me and offer me to try the service. I could not recommend it more. You can get a few different prescription medications over the internet from board certified dermatologists, including Latisse and things like that. I've never tried Latisse. I have my own lash serum that I'm going to talk about in a second that I definitely recommend. But the Cosmetics RX, this video is not sponsored or anything like that, but Cosmetics RX made it so simple. You send in photos and they prescribe you a prescription strength medication and they send it right to your door. And I think it was about $38 total, when even with insurance, this bottle cost me almost $100. So I highly recommend that service. A couple foundations I went through. This is the same foundation, just two different shades, 201, 202. L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I'm actually not wearing this today, but it is what I most of the time wear. I go back and forth between this one and a BB cream, the Sika BB cream that I've really been loving a lot lately. That's what I'm wearing today. But this is like, I don't even need to talk about this stuff. I've been wearing this on my channel for 5 years, 6 years probably. So this is like a repurchase over and over and over and over and over again. So you know I like it. A couple of fragrances I went through. This is, I think this might be one of my favorite all-time fragrances. This is Pink Sugar. I find it a lot at TJ Maxx. That is when I need to get a hold of it because it's the least expensive there. I love this stuff. I've repurchased it 100 times. You will smell like sugar, vanilla sugar. So if you don't like cupcakey scents, you will hate this. And then I've been wanting to try this brand Dossier for a very long time. This is their Ambery Vanilla. This is a brand that literally just rips off really expensive perfumes, and it'll say right on the website, like, this is our version of YSL Black Opium, which is why I wanted to try this one. It didn't insanely remind me of YSL Black Opium. I mean, it does, but it's not like, oh my gosh, identical. So these are a lot less expensive, but I found that this didn't seem to last on my skin all the way throughout the day. But I do love how upfront they are with, this is what it smells like and here are the notes. And it was like 40 bucks, I think, 30 or 40 bucks. And it has the notes right there on the bottle, which is really cool. So I liked it, but I don't know if I'm gonna repurchase it. Amazon is here, so my dog is about to go insane. Guess what I finally decided to try, you guys? Cameron and I both got Quip toothbrushes. Those things are so cool. I do love my Quip. The only thing that's kind of hard for me is hitting the button, especially if my toothbrush is wet. There he goes. There he goes. So Quip is cool because when you sign up, I don't think it's every month. I think it's every 3 months maybe, but you can adjust it based on how quickly you go through things. So they send you a new toothpaste and they send you a new battery for your toothbrush, which is really, really cool because I don't even have to think about it. I feel like toothpaste is one of those things that you're like, I just always feel like I have more. Even when I'm running out, I'm like, oh, I'm fine. Until I'm like absolutely screwed and I have to go to the store immediately to get more toothpaste. So it's kind of nice that they just like send it to you and with the new batteries, so you don't have to worry about where'd you leave the batteries, because I don't know if that's just me, but I do like Quip. It's really cool. Oh, it literally says 3 months supply when using one recommended pea-sized dollop twice a day. I finally decided to part with some of my very first Lip Sense colors. You can tell these are old and nasty. This is Praline Rose, one of my favorites, Pink Champagne, a really nice nude, and Roseberry. This was my first one ever, and I really do love Lip Sense. It's what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing Napa, which I wanted to try because I haven't tried it in a while, but every time I did try it, it looked uneven. Like the application just never looked super even. So I exfoliated the crap out of my lips today and I tried to apply it really even. And I think there is some little spots where it doesn't look super even. It also looks a lot more berry than I see swatches or even than it looks in the bottle. In the bottle, it looks like a nice deep maroon. This is like berry. At least in person, it looks very purple. But I love Lip Sense. Lip Sense stays on forever and ever, amen. The gloss is so lovely. I went through one of those too. This one and these two. These were my first bottles ever of Lip Sense. And this one is bloated because I got it in like August and they almost blew up in the mailbox when we lived overseas. And I had to take a bus to get my mail. Those were the days. Some of these are still full, but I just think it's got the old packaging. They're old and nasty and, you know, past their prime. So I did decide it's time to say goodbye to some of my Lip Sense. This ish is so good. I went through a bottle of the Grande Lash MD Lash Enhancing Serum. Here are my before and afters. 3 months. Before, after. Yeah, so I repurchased the crap out of this. I went through a poopery. I love poopery. Poopery is so life-saving. Life-saving? Embarrassment-saving? I don't know. You shouldn't be embarrassed when you have to poop. But you know what? Sometimes you just want to be a little bit more classy. If you've never used or heard of poopery, like what are you doing with your life? This is the lavender, vanilla, and citrus flavored scent. It's the lavender citrus scent. And it smells really good, but it's like a before you go. So you spray it in the toilet and then you go number 2 and then you don't smell it. It's a really, really lovely invention. I love it. I have a little travel size in my purse because if you're like me, I have some anxiety issues and a lot of the times those culminate in tummy issues. So I like to have a poopery in my purse just in case. It makes me feel a little bit less obvious when I'm panicking. It makes me feel like I'm flying under the radar a little bit more. This is a really random thing, but I did want to talk about it. We have really hard water in this house and we don't have a water softener. So my tub and my toilet and my sink, probably my hair, I need to get more Malibus. Everything turns orange. It is very irritating having very, very hard water. So sometimes when I wash whites in my washing machine, sometimes I get a couple of little weird orange stains on my white clothes. I finally figured out how to make them go away. This is the Magica Rust Remover Gel. Removes rust like magic on virtually any surface, including this big long list of things. I got this on Amazon. It's pretty cheap, but I do probably use too much. Oh, it literally says a little goes a long way. So I definitely use too much. But I use this basically as like a spot stain remover on my laundry. Before I put it in the washing machine, I put a little bit on the stain, wash it, and then it is visibly lighter when it comes out of the dryer. It's really good stuff. And apparently you can use it on all kinds of stuff. Bathtubs. There we go. Carpets, clothes, concrete, boats, cars, bicycle, furniture, house siding, rigging and sails. What the heck is that? Toilets, tools, all kinds of stuff. This stuff is really, really good. And I like that it's so multi-purpose. You can use it on all kinds of different stuff, which is very helpful when you have very hard water. I know I'm talking too fast. I've been filming forever. I went through a couple champagne toast scented things. I went through a phase, and I still do want to do this, where I had this burning in my treatment room at all times because I wanted to have that like signature scent. I have a different candle in there right now that I bought at Market from like a, you know, a small town local maker. And I really, really do love that scent as well. But this is the Bath & Body Works White Barn Champagne Toast. It smells so good. Bubbly champagne, bright berries, juicy tangerine. So I got the candle, so this was burning while I work, and then the hand soap as well. I use this to wash my hands, obviously. My clients use it to wash their hands. And sometimes I use it as like a first clean before I put my tools and things in barbicide. Because barbicide doesn't work unless you scrub your stuff first. PSA. Oh gosh, 2 more things. I figured it was about time to say goodbye to my butter bronzer. This is embarrassingly old. And I don't really wear a lot of bronzer these days. It's like been years since I've worn bronzer on a regular basis. I love blush. I just be wearing blush and highlight every day. So figured it was probably time to say goodbye to my butter bronzer. Oh no. Okay, my very last thing. It is definitely time to say goodbye to my Après Extend Gel. Gel X Tips Adhesive. Soak Off Soft Gel. I don't even think I'm going to be able to get this cap off. I used it in school oh no, honey. Okay, that's really embarrassing. This is like, this should be lasting me longer than that. So long story short, I'm in nail school right now. I have learned so incredibly much. Après Gel X is what got me into doing my own nails. I still do like it, but I prefer a thinner tip these days. So I don't really use Après anymore. So that Extend Gel was getting really goopy and old, obviously. So it was time to say goodbye. Right now, I like to use the Elle brand, her tips and her soft gel adhesive. That is what I've been loving to use lately. So it's definitely time to say goodbye to that Extend Gel. So, oh my goodness, we did it, you guys. That is all my empties. There are so many empty bottles sitting in front of me right now. Okay, I'm really glad that that's over. So that is everything for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any future videos of mine, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Oh, that's not my trash. This is a forming, what? From Tatcha or from a most